Hey, Joanna. Welcome back to the English for Sleep podcast. It's always a blast having you here. Today, we're going to talk about someone super interesting, Elon Musk. From being a kid who loved books to building incredible companies, his story is like something out of a science fiction movie. Get ready for some fun facts and maybe a few wow moments.
Hi, San. It's great to be back. Elon Musk is definitely a fascinating person. It's hard to believe how much he's done and how many different things he's involved in. He seems to have his hands in everything, from electric cars to space rockets to even social media now. I'm really curious to dig into his journey with you today and unravel the mystery of how he achieved so much.
So, let's start way back when. Elon was a kid growing up in South Africa. He was apparently a very curious and introverted boy who absolutely loved to read. Books were his best friends, and he would spend hours lost in stories and learning new things about science, technology, and even philosophy. Can you imagine a little Elon dreaming about rockets and electric cars back then, long before anyone else was? It's truly remarkable how early his passion for these fields began to show.
It's kind of amazing to think about, isn't it? You picture this small kid with his nose in a book, maybe even an encyclopedia, and then you see the adult who's trying to send people to Mars. It just shows how important it is to follow your interests and let your imagination run wild, even when you're young. Maybe some of our listeners will be inspired to pursue their own big dreams, no matter how wild they seem at first, just like he did.
Exactly. And he wasn't just reading for fun. He was actively learning about computers and technology early on. He even taught himself how to code when he was just a kid, only 10 years old, if you can believe it. That's pretty impressive for anyone, let alone a child. It's like he had this natural curiosity and an incredible drive to figure things out, which is a big part of why he is who he is today, constantly pushing boundaries.
Wow, teaching yourself to code as a child? That's seriously cool. It sounds like he had a real passion for innovation and problem solving right from the start, a true inventor's spirit. It makes you wonder what kind of books he was reading that sparked such big ideas in his young mind. Perhaps some early science fiction novels fueled those grand dreams of space travel and futuristic technology that he's now making a reality.
He even sold his first computer game called Blastar when he was just 12 years old. Imagine that, a preteen making money from his own code. This early experience clearly showed his entrepreneurial spirit. It wasn't just about making games, it was about creating something new and offering it to the world, a glimpse into his future ventures.
That's an amazing detail. Selling a video game at 12 years old is truly extraordinary. It proves that his drive to create and innovate wasn't just a fleeting interest, but a deep-seated part of his personality from a very young age. It really sets the stage for the kind of ambitious projects he would take on later in life, proving he was always ahead of the curve.
Fast forward a bit, and Elon moved to North America, first to Canada and then to the United States, to pursue his education and eventually started getting into business. One of his early big successes was a company called X.com, which eventually merged with another company to become PayPal. So, if anyone has ever used PayPal to send or receive money, they've indirectly been a part of Elon's early journey to building his fortune, revolutionizing online payments.
That's right. PayPal became a really big deal and completely changed how people paid for things online. It was a true game changer at the time, making online transactions much easier and more secure for millions of users worldwide. Elon was one of the key people behind that, and it was his involvement with PayPal that really started to give him the financial power to pursue his even bigger, crazier ideas, like space travel and sustainable energy.
And he didn't just sit back and relax after PayPal. Many people would have retired comfortably, but he took a huge leap of faith and used a significant portion of the money he made to start two brand new ventures, Tesla and SpaceX. It takes an incredible amount of guts to bet so big on ideas that seemed almost impossible and even a bit crazy to many people at the time. Electric cars weren't really a thing, and private space companies successfully launching rockets were unheard of.
It's truly incredible, isn't it? Most people would probably have taken that PayPal money and lived a very comfortable life, perhaps on a private island. But Elon saw these huge global problems, like climate change and the long-term survival of humanity, and decided he was going to try and do something really ambitious about them. That kind of bold vision and willingness to take such massive risks is pretty rare in the business world, making him stand out.
He had this vision of creating a future where humanity is a multi-planetary species, living sustainably both on Earth and beyond. To achieve this, he knew he needed to tackle energy and space. It wasn't just about making money, it was about solving humanity's biggest challenges, which is a powerful motivator.
That's a huge part of his appeal, I think. He's not just building companies, he's building solutions to existential threats. It's easy to dismiss some of his ideas as too ambitious, but he often points to the bigger picture, the survival of humanity. It's a very philosophical approach to entrepreneurship, don't you think?
Speaking of SpaceX, that's probably one of his most mind-blowing projects. He wanted to make space travel more affordable and eventually make it possible for humans to live on other planets, like Mars. It sounds like pure science fiction, something out of a futuristic movie, but he's actually making real, tangible progress. They're launching rockets, delivering satellites, and even landing them back on Earth upright. It's like watching history being made with every launch.
It really is like something out of a movie. When you see those rockets launch and then gracefully come back down for a perfect upright landing, it feels almost magical. And the fact that a private company, not a government space agency, is just astonishing. It's like he looked at what governments were doing in space and thought, we can do this faster, cheaper, and better, fundamentally changing the space industry.
And they've had some incredible achievements, like sending astronauts to the International Space Station. That was a huge milestone for a private space company, demonstrating their capability to safely transport humans to orbit. It showed that SpaceX wasn't just a pipe dream. It was a serious player in the space industry, pushing the boundaries of what's technologically possible and ushering in a new era of space exploration.
Absolutely. And the audacious idea of eventually colonizing Mars? It's such a grand, almost unbelievable goal for most people. But knowing Elon's track record, his relentless pursuit of ambitious targets, you can't completely dismiss it. He has a unique way of turning these seemingly crazy ideas into reality, one step at a time, overcoming monumental engineering challenges. It's truly inspiring, even if it sounds a bit wild to the average person.
They're also developing Starship, which is designed to be a fully reusable transportation system capable of carrying both crew and cargo to Earth orbit, the Moon, Mars, and beyond. This is the vehicle he envisions taking humans to Mars, and it's massive. It's like building a space ark, a true marvel of modern engineering.
The sheer scale of Starship is mind-boggling. It's not just a rocket. It's designed to be a complete space system, including landing and refueling in space. It shows his commitment to making humanity a multi-planetary species, not just sending a few people to Mars, but building a sustainable presence there. He's thinking generations ahead.
Then there's Tesla, which has completely changed the way we think about cars. Before Tesla, electric cars were often seen as slow, boring, and not very cool. But Elon and his team at Tesla completely flipped that perception. They created stylish, high-performance electric vehicles that people actually wanted to buy, making them desirable and pushing the whole auto industry to go electric.
They really did. Tesla cars are not just environmentally friendly, they're also packed with incredibly cool technology, like their large touchscreens and advanced autopilot features, and are actually fun to drive. They've become a symbol of innovation and have definitely accelerated the shift towards sustainable transportation globally. It's like they took something that was seen as a bit boring and made it exciting, futuristic, and aspirational.
And it's not just the cars themselves. Tesla has also been a pioneer in things like battery technology and charging infrastructure, building the vast supercharger network. They're building a whole ecosystem to support electric vehicles, which is absolutely crucial for the widespread adoption of this technology worldwide. They're thinking about the big picture, not just selling individual cars, but transforming an entire industry.
Exactly. They're not just selling cars, they're selling a vision of the future. A future that's cleaner, more technologically advanced, and more connected. And they've managed to build a massive following of people who truly believe in that vision, which is a huge part of their global success. It's more than just a car company. It's almost a social and environmental movement, inspiring countless other companies to follow suit.
He's also been pushing the boundaries with autonomous driving, or full self-driving (FSD) technology. While it's still evolving, the idea of cars driving themselves is fascinating and could completely change transportation as we know it. It's another example of him pushing beyond current limitations.
FSD is definitely a super ambitious project. The idea that cars could drive themselves everywhere is mind-blowing. It shows that Tesla isn't just about electric motors. It's about pushing the absolute limits of artificial intelligence and robotics in everyday life. It's truly a glimpse into a future where our vehicles are much more than just a way to get from A to B.
Taking over X, a new chapter. More recently, Elon made massive headlines by acquiring Twitter, which he has since dramatically rebranded as X. This has been a pretty controversial move, sparking a lot of debate and discussion, and it's definitely changed the platform a lot from its original form. He has some big, bold ideas about what he wants X to become, far beyond just a simple social media site.
Yes, the acquisition of X, formerly Twitter, has been quite a roller coaster. There have been a lot of swift changes, rapid policy shifts, and a lot of very strong opinions about those changes from users and critics alike. It's clear that Elon has a very specific and often unconventional vision for the platform, and he's not afraid to make bold, sometimes disruptive moves to try and achieve it. It's certainly keeping things interesting and sometimes chaotic in the world of social media.
He talks about turning X into an everything app, where users can do virtually anything, from social networking and sharing thoughts, to making payments, booking services, and much more. It's a very ambitious goal, drawing inspiration from apps like WeChat in China, and it's hard to say exactly what the future holds for the platform. But knowing Elon, it's likely to be something truly unexpected and disruptive to the existing digital landscape.
It does sound incredibly ambitious. Creating an everything app that people actually use regularly and trust with so many aspects of their lives would be a massive undertaking, requiring incredible technological and user adoption. But if anyone has the sheer drive, the vast resources, and the willingness to take risks to try something like that, it's probably Elon Musk. It will be fascinating to watch how that unfolds and if he can truly pull it off.
He believes that consolidating so many services into one app could make digital interactions much more efficient and user-friendly. It's a vision that aims to simplify our digital lives, potentially changing how we interact with technology on a daily basis.
It's definitely a bold play to redefine the social media landscape. Whether it works or not, it's clear he's trying to innovate in a space that many thought was already saturated and set in its ways. He's pushing the boundaries of what a digital platform can be, which is very much in line with his overall approach to business.
So what's next for Elon? Well, he's still very focused on SpaceX and his incredibly ambitious goal of getting humans to Mars. He frequently talks about not just visiting Mars, but building a self-sustaining human colony there, which sounds like something directly out of a science fiction novel, perhaps by Isaac Asimov. But he seems utterly determined to make it happen, investing vast resources into it.
The Mars plan is definitely his long-term, really big dream, arguably his most audacious one. He sees it as crucial for the long-term survival of humanity, a sort of backup plan in case something catastrophic happens on Earth, like a giant asteroid impact or a global catastrophe. It's a very forward-thinking, almost apocalyptic, yet incredibly ambitious goal. You have to admire his unwavering dedication to such a huge humanity-altering vision.
And he's also continuing to innovate tirelessly with Tesla, working on things like perfecting self-driving technology and developing even more affordable electric vehicles to reach a broader market. He wants to make sustainable energy and transportation accessible to everyone on the planet, which is a really important mission for tackling climate change.
Absolutely. While the Mars plan is the really far out, generational goal, his ongoing work with Tesla has a much more immediate and tangible impact on our lives here on Earth, driving the global transition to cleaner energy and more sustainable transportation. It's like he's tackling both the immediate, pressing challenges and the long-term existential threats simultaneously.
It's almost like he has this relentless, almost superhuman drive to constantly push the boundaries of what's possible, whether it's in space exploration, sustainable transportation, or cutting-edge technology. He's constantly thinking about the future and trying to build it brick by brick, which is what makes him such a unique, influential, and often controversial figure in the world today.
He definitely is. Love him or have some reservations about his methods, you simply cannot deny that he's had a massive and undeniable impact on the world, influencing multiple industries. And you certainly can't argue that he's not afraid to think incredibly big and take massive swings. He consistently challenges the status quo and inspires a lot of people to think differently about what's truly achievable, pushing the envelope for everyone.
Elon Musk's story is definitely a wild ride, full of incredible successes, some very public setbacks, and a whole lot of ambition that often seems to defy gravity. He's a fascinating example of someone who dared to dream bigger than almost anyone else, and then worked incredibly hard, often against immense odds, to try and make those audacious dreams a reality.
It truly is an amazing and ongoing story. From a bookish kid in South Africa who loved programming to a global tech titan and visionary, his journey is full of powerful lessons about innovation, perseverance, risk-taking, and the immense power of having a truly bold vision for the future. It makes you wonder what other incredible, world-changing things he might achieve in the years to come.
Well, Joanna, this has been another fantastic conversation. Exploring the incredible story of Elon Musk with you has been so much fun. I bet our listeners are full of interesting facts and maybe even some new inspiration now.
It's always an absolute pleasure, San. Elon Musk's journey is certainly one that sparks a lot of thought and discussion, and it's fascinating to unpack. Thanks so much for having me on the English for Sleep podcast again.
And thank you to all our wonderful listeners for tuning in. We hope you enjoyed learning about the incredible, often unbelievable story of Elon Musk. Join us next time for more interesting topics and relaxed English conversation.
Bye, everyone.
Sweet dreams.